Business Report.
Good evening. Tonight, Sri Lanka has 30 billion rupees immediately available for catastrophe relief, with extra money attainable through supplementary estimates, President Anukumara Dissanayake announced. In comparison to the same period in 2024, Sri Lanka's trade deficit increased to $6.1 billion for the first 10 months of 2025. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka's most recent data included this. Sri Lanka's Colombo Stock Exchange ended lower today, with the all share price index dropping 3.04% and the S&P/SL 20 down 2.89%. And ahead of important economic data, Asian equities began solidly today as excitement about the US rate decrease increased risk appetite.
From Studio 24C, here's Prashansa Gunawardena.
Good evening and welcome to the Nightly Business Report on Other Derana News Channel. Sri Lanka has 30 billion rupees immediately available for disaster response, with additional funds possible through supplementary estimates, President Anukumara Dissanayake confirmed. The allocation allows the government to respond swiftly to emergencies without awaiting parliamentary approval.
District secretaries have been instructed to submit detailed estimates to ensure effective allocation of resources. The government aims to address the food, health and sanitation needs of displaced populations caused by Cyclone Ditwa. The cyclone damaged essential services and infrastructure including power lines, 200 major roads and 10 bridges under the Road Development Authority. While most irrigation systems remain intact, the historic Minipe Anikat has been damaged. Numerous smaller roads were washed away or blocked away by landslides, according to social media reports. Vast areas of farmland, particularly rice paddies recently sown for the Maha season, are now submerged.
The Sri Lankan government has updated payment instructions for disaster relief contributions to ensure smooth processing. Some donors experienced difficulties transferring funds to the previously designated central bank accounts. To address this, contributors are now advised to send their donations in Sri Lankan rupees to a Bank of Ceylon account. The update applies to both local and international donors supporting the ongoing national relief efforts. Authorities emphasize that the change will ensure uninterrupted receipt of contributions for flood-affected communities. The government continues to urge the public and organizations to support the relief operations promptly. The new instructions aim to simplify the donation process and reduce delays in fund transfers. Officials also confirmed that all contributions will be transparently managed and directed to immediate relief efforts. Sri Lanka's trade deficit has risen to $6.1 billion for the first 10 months of 2025 compared to the same period of 2024. This was mentioned in the latest data issued by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka.
Accordingly, for the first 10 months of 2025, merchandise imports were amounted to $17.54 billion, while merchandise exports stood at $11.36 billion. In its external sector performance summary, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka says the merchandise trade deficit widened year-on-year in October this year, mainly due to a notable increase in imports. Vehicle imports, both personal and commercial vehicles, amounted to $261 in October, with cumulative vehicle imports recording $1,465 million during the first 10 months of the year. Reflecting a high increase in import prices compared to export prices, the terms of trade deteriorated in October year-on-year. Meanwhile, foreign investments in the government security markets continued to record net inflows in October, while the foreign investments in the Colombo Stock Exchange, including both primary and secondary markets, recorded net outflows during the month.
Let's take a short break now. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. Sri Lanka's Colombo Stock Exchange ended lower today, with the all share price index dropping 3.04% and the S&P/SL 20 down 2.89%, as trading focused on the food, beverage and tobacco sectors. For further insights on this, we have Salama Sanun from First Capital Holdings.
Thank you. The Colombo Stock Exchange opened both the week and the month of December on a subdued note, with the market declining by nearly 3% amidst the fallout from the recent disaster and floods, which have sent shockwaves across investor sentiment. The all-share price index fell by 691 points and closed at 22,022. the index failed to hold its ground, plunging sharply at the open and maintaining that downward trajectory throughout the session despite a brief early rebound driven by bargain hunting. Both retail and high net worth investor participation remained subdued overall. Investor attention was actively focused on select construction sector counters such as Axis Engineering, Tokyo Cement and Sierra Cables, which were among the actively traded counters of the day. Turnover for the day stood at around 5.2 billion rupees, which is broadly in line with the monthly average as well. The capital goods sector generated 29% of the day's turnover, while the banking and materials sectors together accounted for 35%. Thank you.
Sri Lanka's Colombo Stock Exchange is expected to remain volatile in the coming sessions as investors react to sector-specific movements and broader economic indicators. Analysts suggest caution, noting that trading may continue to concentrate in high-demand sectors such as food, beverage and tobacco. For further insights on this, we have Ranjan Ranatunga from First Capital Holdings.
The Colombos opened the week on a sharply negative note as widespread panic selling gripped investors, followed by the severe floods and subsequent property damage caused by the Ditwa weather storm over the weekend. Within minutes of trading, the market plunged by more than 800 points, nearly 5%, before staging a brief recovery during the early hours of trading. However, renewed selling pressure in the later hours pushed down the market lower again, with the all-share price index closing at 22,022 points, down 690 points, while the S&P SL20 index also mirrored this weakness, shedding 162 points to close the day at 6,104 points. Looking ahead, the market sentiment is expected to remain subdued throughout the week as investors adopt a wait-and-see approach until clear assessment is emerged on the economic impact, the impact on the floods, and on the listed corporates, as well as the extent on the sectorial impacts. In this environment, turnover is likely to be moderate between the 4 to 5 billion mark, with the overall market expected to remain muted during the upcoming days. Thank you.
Gold prices reached a 6-week high as a softer dollar and early risk-off sentiment shaped market direction. Spot gold rose 0.2% to $4,240.54 per ounce, after touching its highest level since October 21st. US gold futures for December delivery gained 0.5% to $4,276.00. Silver also advanced briefly, hitting a record high. US stock futures slipped in Asian trading, while Bitcoin fell 3.6% to $87,881.82, and Ether declined 5% to $2,871.59. Dovish remarks from Federal Reserve officials and softer US data has strengthened expectations of a December rate cut, with futures pricing in an 87% probability. Oil prices rose 2% after OPEC Plus members reaffirmed plans to keep output steady amid renewed supply concerns. Brent crude gained 1.96% to $63.60 a barrel, while US WTI climbed 2.08% to $59.77. Both benchmarks reached their highest levels in more than a week. The gains followed a halt in Caspian Pipeline Consortium exports after a major drone attack and rising US-Venezuela tensions. Despite Monday's rebound, both contracts had settled lower on Friday for a fourth straight month, their longest losing streak since 2023. OPEC Plus had initially agreed to pause output increases in early November amid worries about a potential supply glut. The Sri Lankan rupee weakened slightly against the US dollar today compared to last Friday. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka reported that the buying rate for the US dollar rose from 304 rupees and 24 cents to 304 rupees and 39 cents. Similarly, the selling rate of the rupee increased from 311 rupees and 80 cents to 311 rupees and 94 cents. Let's take a closer look on how the Sri Lankan rupee is performing against other major global currencies. A short break now. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. As Sri Lanka faces one of its worst flood disasters in years, local right-hailing leader PICMI has mobilized its entire digital and logistical network to aid nationwide relief efforts.
PICMI has launched a large-scale digital and logistic relief initiative as Sri Lanka grapples with severe floods, leaving hundreds dead and thousands displaced. The company's three-pronged emergency plan mobilizes citizen donations, coordinates deliveries, and assists rescue teams navigating submerged areas. A new in-app feature, Aid, allows users to schedule free doorstep pickup of relief packs, including dry rations and essential items for the flood victims. A central collection point has also been established at PICMI headquarters in Colombo to serve as a primary aggregation hub. Monetary donations can be made through PICMI events, with the funds channeled to vetted humanitarian groups such as Roundtable Sri Lanka.
HNB PLC has been named the platinum sponsor and official banking partner for the inaugural IBSL National Banking and Finance Conference 2025. The event, organized by the Institute of Bankers of Sri Lanka, HNB Managing Director and CEO Damit Pallewatta said the conference will offer a vital platform to discuss digital transformation and long-term financial stability. He noted that HNB's sponsorship reflects its commitment to fostering innovation, technology adoption, and customer-centric solutions across the sector. The bank emphasized that the digital change must be supported by strong partnerships and sound governance to build a progressive and sustainable banking ecosystem. The conference will also feature a CEO forum where industry leaders will discuss innovation, customer experience, operational efficiency, and risk management. InsureMe, Sri Lanka's digital insurance aggregator, was listed on the Colombo Stock Exchange today, becoming the first insurance intermediary in the country to go public. Founded in 2016 and licensed by the Insurance Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka, InsureMe has transformed insurance purchasing and claims through its technology-driven digital platform. The listing highlights the company's strong market position, innovative approach, commitment to transparency, and mission to make insurance more accessible nationwide. InsureMe's ecosystem connects customers with top insurers, simplifying how insurance is searched, compared, purchased, and managed, while its technology arm Digis recently expanded internationally through a Singapore partnership. The company's CSC debut is expected to strengthen its growth trajectory, enhance governance, and boost confidence among customers and investors. Total Energies Marketing India Private Limited has partnered with Energy Co Lanka to introduce its latest high-performance lubricants to the Sri Lankan market. The new range includes automotive, industrial, and specialized lubricants designed to enhance mobility, industrial growth, and operational efficiency. Backed by advanced R&D and global partnerships, the lubricants promise superior performance, reliability, and protection for engines and machinery. Energy Co Lanka Managing Director Dimitri Sharif said the partnership brings globally trusted OEM-backed lubricants to Sri Lanka's mobility and industrial sectors. The collaboration aims to set new benchmarks for productivity, sustainability, and operational excellence across multiple industries in the country. Let's take a short commercial break. Global business updates coming on the other side. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. Asian stocks opened steadily today as US rate cut optimism boosted risk sentiment ahead of key economic data. Investors focused on the Japanese yen, which strengthened to 155.64 per US dollar following comments from Bank of Japan Governor Kazuo Ueda. Ueda indicated the central bank will weigh the pros and cons of raising interest rates at its December policy meeting. MSCI's Broadest Index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan remained steady at 703.19, up 23.5% for the year. The index is on track for its best annual gain since 2017. Meanwhile, Japan's Nikkei fell 1.3% in early trading, reflecting mixed investor sentiment in the region. The rise of feedlots is helping Australia supply beef more consistently for export and take market share from US exporters in Asian countries that prefer grain-fed meat.
4 hours drive west of Sydney, under the blazing Australian sun, 6,000 Black Angus cows are fattening up on a diet of rolled barley, silage, cottonseed, and molasses. After about 90 days at Gundamain Feedlot, these cattle gain up to 50% more weight. That's all so Australia can keep sending out the juicy marbled beef craved by people worldwide. Gundamain is part of a big change happening in Australia's cattle industry, with the country now the world's second biggest beef exporter. Over the first 9 months of this year, Australia shipped $8.6 billion worth of beef overseas. Helping drive the rising tide of exports are feedlots, facilities where cattle are brought together to be fed a high-calorie diet in the months before slaughter. They're aiding Australia in winning customers in Asia who especially prefer grain-fed meat. Many of those buyers used to purchase mostly from the United States. Now, the Gundamain Feedlot has big plans, according to owner Andrew Herbert.
We're sort of just at the moment, we're expanding. We're hoping to expand to probably double the number to 12,000. But main reasons for doing that is that we're probably looking at better cow comfort level for cattle later days.
Industry data show there are a record 1.6 million cattle in feedlots across Australia, up from 1 million 5 years ago. By 2027, analysts say the number will probably hit 2 million. The growth comes as the US declines. Drought has reduced cattle herds there to their lowest level since the 1950s, and beef production is expected to fall this year and next. Feedlots also protect Australian farmers from swings between droughts and good rain, with the country always producing far more grain than needed for cattle feed. However, experts say Australia likely won't mirror the US, where over 90% of cattle end their days on feedlots.
Thank you for watching the Nightly Business Report on Other Derana News channel. We value your opinion. Share your thoughts and feedback with us through email at feedback.edincenglish@derana.lk or via WhatsApp at 076805793. We will see you again tomorrow with the latest updates in the business globe. Vinuthu Surya will join you next with Other Derana Sports Central. Until then, I'm Prashansa Gunawardana. Thank you for watching and have a good night.